All right. Now, a lot of folks can do geometry and grab a hold of geometry pretty good because they're visual people. And visual people usually tend to do better with geometry than non-visual people. It's all about dimensions. Just like I told you, one dimension is perimeter, two dimension is what? Area, and three dimension is volume. Well, what if I take a point like this and I ask you what that is? This is chapter 9. And this is a lot of geometry. One of my favorite movies is My Cousin Vinny. You ever watched My Cousin Vinny?
Oh, what's that? I never heard of it.
I'm going to pull it up and see if I can get a scene from it. Yeah, I know. I'm showing y'all a video. So whoever the one person is that's going to complain, just wait until I get finished before you complain about it.
Is it the grid scene?
Huh?
The grid scene.
And my biological clock is ticking. Meanwhile, my sister's daughter is having a baby, and the way they're going, I'm never getting married. I think that's so funny. But that's not it. That doesn't have to do with math. But there is one little scene that does. And that is, I think you should give it to me. I think you should. I better put My Cousin Vinny there because I don't know what that'll bring up. That's hilarious. There's the biological clock right there. I don't think I see it. Let me see, building the case. Maybe that's it. I don't see it. Well, anyway, he says a block. The prosecution building a block, and you want blocks like a cement block, like this. And he takes out a deck of cards, and it's an ace of spades, and he holds it up, and he says, "This is a block. But if you turn the card just the right way, that block is real what? Thin." Now, what does that have to do with what I'm showing you? That point looks like a point, doesn't it? What else could it be? A what? A period. Boy, that's real deep. Huh? It could be if I could draw this right. Let's make that. Let's see, pink, then old yellow, then old that. And let's see if I can do this. No. Right. Now I want you to think of this as a Now, of course, you can't see it. Oh, that's going to happen if I do that. But what I can do is take this highlighter, and maybe I could, let's see. I'm trying to see which. I don't have it drawn exactly right, but that dotted line is where these two planes, think of these two planes as two glasses, two rectangular pieces of glass. One of them is brown in color, the other one is clear. And if you could cross them together, it would look something like this. Now, if you look at it from this way, that ain't supposed to be that long. Hold on, I know what's wrong now. If y'all was, if I could draw, I'd be dangerous. That's going to mess up. It's not going to work. There we go. I don't want people to say I'm loud anymore. Y'all bear with me a minute. I'm trying to draw it where you can see it. Yeah, yeah, take your time. That's bothering me. But just get the picture of two panes of glass, different colors, being intersected together. And this is what it would look like. Of course, this is not right. Eventually, I'll get it right because some of you artsy people, I suck at drawing. Okay, that's why I'm a math teacher. Is that why? How is that? Is that a little bit better? Maybe a little bit better. Well, if you can't picture two pieces of glass crossing each other.
Not like that.
Okay, well. I tell you what, come here.
No,
Come here.
no. It's not good.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to make it look bad. The whole point is, this piece right here is yellow. And this piece is yellow. That's your yellow piece of glass. And then your green piece of glass is right there. How's that? That a little bit better? No comment. Anyway, the whole point is, what do you see? If you look at this from this direction, what do you see? You're going to see a rectangle like this. And what's the top going to be? Huh? The top's going to be green. And what's the bottom going to be? Yellow. All right, everybody with me? No matter what side you look from, if I look this way, I'm going to see this. What if I look this way? Top's going to be what? Yellow, and the bottom's going to be green. And if I look this way, it's going to be yellow on the top and what? Green on the bottom. And if I look this way, it's going to be green on the left and it's going to be on the right, or top, depending on which way your eyeball is. But, what if I look this way? What will you see? You'll see an X, like that, right? And what will the middle look like? Will it be a little bit bigger? Be what? What will that look like? Look like a point. So, if you look at two planes of glass this way, it looks like a rectangle. But if you look at two planes of glass this way, it looks like an X with a what? With a point in it. So a point, now what does that mean? That means if I draw a line, let's say I draw a line looking like that. If I look at it from where y'all are, it looks like a what? It looks like a line. But if I look at it from this direction, what does it look like? It looks like a point. It's all about dimension. It's all about which way you're looking at something. All right? So, with that, a point is basically an intersection of two planes looking from an end perspective. And you can also say intersection of two planes or a line looking from a rear perspective. Kind of superimpose that a little bit. If you look right behind the line and you look at the right angle, you don't see this, you don't see this, you don't see this, you see a point. You see that orange point right there and you see a little bit of gray around it. If you look at that pen, I put that pen right there, and you look at it from this direction, does it look like a pen? No, it looks like this. That's what that looks like. If you look at it from this direction, it looks like that. But everybody can see in 3 dimensions, it's not a point, it's a line segment. Line segment has a beginning and a what? An end. So it's all about perspective in 3D and geometry and things like that. Well, what is a line? Well, let's go back to our picture. What is a line? The intersection of two what? Planes looking from a side perspective. So a line or line segment, and of course you know what a line and a line segment is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what the definition of lines and line segment. A line does not have an ending. A line segment what? Has an ending. What is a ray? It has a point of beginning, but it has no what? Ending. So I'm going to draw those 3 up there. But a line basically is an intersection of two planes from a side perspective. And of course, the actual, that is the, graphical or the visual definition of a line. Of course, you got your line segment. You got your ray. And then you've got your line. And there's about 3 or 4 others, but those are the 3 most used. And of course, you could put a picture of a nice drawing. Shut up. You can make a line any way you want to and put an intersection of 2 planes right there at it to make it look like a different perspective. See? Now, of course, if you look at it from this way, what does it look like? It looks like a point. But if you look at it from this direction, what does it look like? It looks like a line. Same thing with the card and the block. You take a card, not an index card, a playing card, and you put it up, it looks like a block. But if you turn it to the side, it looks like a what? It looks like a line. Same thing with your desk. When you look at a desk from bird's eye view, it's got a length and it's got a what? A height. But if you look at it from the side, it looks like a what? It looks like a line. It's all about perspective. Of course, this would be a plane. Maybe I should just try to do it this way. That sucks. I was going to try to do it another way, but I don't think that's going to work either. No, it's not. But anyway, what is this? If I could transfer this down here, which I guess I can. Let me try that. I think that'll be easier. You don't have to erase it. I'm just erasing this. I'm going to copy this down here. Here, paste. I'm going to put that right there, and I'm going to take my handy dandy eraser. I'm going to erase that and erase that. Now, what's the difference in a line segment and array? Well, array has this on the end, which means that these 2 guys keep what? I mean, the 2 planes keep what? Keep going. Do they end? No. They just keep on going. But they start right here. And then, of course, 2 planes that keep going on both ends. That would just be this extended this way and that way. Okay? two lines that cross, form an blank. Not a point, but form a what? What? Intersection. Yeah, that's a good word, but that's not what I'm looking for. We can say intersection, and that's fine, but that's not what I'm looking for. That's the correct answer. Vertex. Vertex is another word for intersection. Vertices is plural, but that's not what I'm looking for. Starts with an A. N. Angle. Good. And an angle is depicted by that little symbol right there. It looks like an eyeball, but actually it stops right here. Eyeball is like this. That's an eyeball. And it usually has a dashed line, but that's an angle. Now, here's your angle right here. I'm going to draw one. There's an angle. These two angles right here are equal to each other. And these two angles right here are equal to each other. You got two angles, the yellow angles, they're equal to each other. And the two, these are called vertical angles. Vertical, they're right across from each other. Across, I don't think that's right either. I always want to put two C's. It's AC, it's AC, isn't it? It don't look right. Might help me out.
ACRO.
Okay. Across from each other are what?
Vertical angle.
I'm saying they can be across from each other, or they can be what? I'm going to say stacked. In other words, above each other. Are they equal? Yes. These two are equal. We'll call this angle 1 and angle 2. Angle 1 is equal to angle 2. And usually this shows like this. Those two angles are equal. And then the two green angles, we'll do two lines like that. When you see two lines matching, that means in these two are equal and these two are equal. Vertical angles can be across from each other or they can be stacked. What other kind of angles are there? Well, 90-degree angle is also called a what? Right angle. It's also called a perpendicular angle. All three of those are the same thing. That means, and another word, and the other word is complementary. Write that down. When you see the word complement or complementary, that means that it equals what? 90 degrees. Equals 90 degrees. That's what that means. And that means that if you have two lines that form a right angle, and a right angle is a little box in the corner like that, that means that this angle right here is 90 degrees. 90-degree angle. So that would be, what would this be a good example of? Think of this room. What would this be a good example of? The intersection of the floor and the what? Corner of the room, the wall. It could, that could be the corner, because it could be what? It could be the line going right here, and then what? Going straight up. It could be a corner looking down from what? Bird's eye view of that corner right there. This is a wall, and this is a what? wall, and you're looking down the beam, that beam right there. So it all about perspective. So here's one angle. Vertical angles, they're just across from each other. That's location. This is location. They're across from each other. What is this? This is a 90-degree angle. This is, mathematically, you measure the angle. This is a measure, 90-degree angle. You measure. What about less than 90 degrees? Well, if you have an angle less than 90 degrees, that is called an acute angle. And that looks something like, here's your 90 degrees right there. An acute angle would be something on the right side of a 90-degree angle. Because it's less than what? 90 degrees. If you have an angle that is greater than 90 degrees, what kind of angle do you have? Obtuse. Anybody think of a movie where the word obtuse is being used? I think of two. Anybody think of one? Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption. The guy that's spending time in jail for no reason called the warden what? Why are you being so obtuse? What does obtuse mean personality-wise? It means that you're going way over to be arrogant. You're going out of your way to be arrogant. So out of the way, meaning you're doing more than you need to be what? Arrogant. More than 90 degrees. Acute, I tell people to remember acute kid. Acute kid is small, less than 90 degrees. What about something like a pocket knife? If your angle is equal to 180 degrees, you have what we call a what? I usually spell straight, S-T-R-A-I-T, like in George Strait, but make sure I spell it right. And that is that angle that looks like a pocket knife, open. And that's equal to what? 180 degrees. Now, the word for 180 degrees is what? Supplementary. Now, what I mean by supplementary, Hubert, or class, I mean that you will have two types of questions. And I'm going to show them to you. The first type question will say, find the measure of the complementary angles below. And the first angle is x, and the second angle is double the first angle. The first angle is x, and the second angle is double the first angle. And they will either give it to you like this, and they'll say this is 2x, or they'll say the first angle or the second angle is twice the what? They'll give it either to you in words or they'll give it to you as a picture. So let's do it. Either way, you're going to do x plus what? Plus 2x is equal to what? 90. Where did 90 come from? Right here. So you need to, in your notes, you need to take the green, or you need to highlight this guy, and you need to highlight this guy, because that's where it comes from. And either that word is going to be in the directions, or it's going to be in the question, or they're going to have a little square right here, like that. All three of those mean the same thing. Right angle, perpendicular, normal, complementary. All four of those words mean the same thing. That means that the angle is equal to what? 90 degrees. So what's 2x plus 1x? 3x. And x is equal to what? 30. Yep, I can't. Right. So if this angle is equal to 30, what's this angle equal to? 90. 60. No, it's got to be 5. And that's your answers. All right, let's do another. And I'm just going to say, find the angle of a complementary angle. With the second angle being 4 less than, and that's 4 inches, 4 feet, the first angle. All right, do that one. Remember what I told you about less than a while back? Less than, crisscross. Remember? Crisscross and put in the operation. I'm going to take the roll right quick. Miss Bailey, you awful quiet. What's the matter with you? You awful quiet. How's your back? A little better? Not having a good day today? Okay. You just quiet? You're in a quiet mode?
I was listening because I came in late. I couldn't get off work so late.
Ah, okay. All right, I'm going to... I made to turn the... Okay. So, I told y'all that complementary means what?
90
90
degrees.
degrees. How many angles do we have? 2.
2.
The first one is X, because X is always going to be one of them. And then the other one is what? Be careful. This is X right here. What is it? X minus 4. And you will get a different answer if you do it otherwise. Because subtraction is not what? Commutative. It is not flip-flop. You cannot flip-flop subtraction. So what's X plus X?
2x.
Minus 4 is equal to 90. 2x is equal to what? 94. X is equal to what? Dang old 47. Help me out.
48.
Should be 47. So if X is equal to 47, what's X? And I'm going to put it in quotation marks so you don't solve it again. X minus 4 is equal to what? Well, 47 minus 4 is what? 43. Now, how do you check it? Add those up, what do you get? It's a miracle. You add them up, you get 90, and that's the check. So your first angle is 47 degrees, your second angle is 43 degrees. 47 degrees, your second angle is 43 degrees. How about this one? Supplementary angles. And the first angle is X. The second angle is 3 less than 4 times the first. Okay? So again, you got the less than. We got two things. What are they equal to?
180.
180. We got two angles. First one's X. The second one, times the first. Let's take the first out. And put what? X. 3 less than 4x. And what do? Crisscross and you get 4 what? 4x minus 3, so that goes here. What's 4x plus x? Add 3, 5x is equal to 183. And 5 will go in there. X is equal to 3. 5 will go in there 3 times, right? And that'll leave 33, 6 6/10 degrees. And then what would the other one be? Somebody take the calculator, multiply 36.6 times 4. What do you get?
$146.4.
146.4 minus what? 3 is 143 point what? 4? All right, somebody add those two up and see what you get. Huh? 180. So these are not hard. And you will have a lot of them on your test. Complementary and supplementary angles. What else do we have on the test? Well, there's going to be some puzzles on your test. What do you mean puzzles? Well, I call them puzzles. And they're puzzles that look something like this. And they will give you like this angle, and they might give you this angle. Let's make that 50. I don't want to think too much up here. And this angle, and maybe this angle. 120 degrees. And they want you to find this angle right here. I call these puzzles because that's basically what they are. All you got to do is fill in the blanks. Well, you know that vertical angles are what?
90 degrees.
No, vertical angles are what? Equal. I think you said the same. So what does that mean about these two guys from here? I'll tell you what, let me do this. Let me take my highlighter. And I'm going to color this one green right there. And I'm going to color this one yellow. So what can you tell me about this area up in here? This one is what? That one's 50. And what's this one over here? Huh?
130.
So that one's 130, and this one is 50. All right. Well, let's do this one. This one is 120 right here, right? Because of what? Vertical angle. So I'm going. Sorry. I took my medicine. I don't know why it's not working. Alright, so I'm going to take my highlighter and we're going to paint this one blue. And this was given right here. So I just put this one in because of vertical what? Vertical angles, Hubert. That's right, class. But I need to find this angle. Well, somebody tell me what this angle is. How'd you get that? Yeah, but what told you to use 180? No, with supplementary, but what is this line right here? So what line? Straight line. What's a straight angle? 180. So that's where you get the 180 from. This angle right here, and I'm gonna take my colored pencil and I'm gonna color it red, and I'm gonna highlight. I'm gonna draw an angle right there. See that angle? That red angle right here is 180 degrees. But what do we already have? And I'll do it in blue. We already have 100 and what?
120.
Now, if you have 120 of 180 degrees, then what does that leave for this area right here that I'll color magenta? What does that leave right here?
60 degrees.
60 degrees. So that angle is 60 degrees. And if that angle is 60 degrees, what's this angle over here? Now somebody tell me what this angle is. Nope. It may be. I don't know. But I don't think it is. That would just be extreme coincidence.
There's 180 minus and 50 degrees.
Where'd you get 180 degrees? I mean, where'd you get 180?
There's a straight line and 50 on the
No, you don't have anything down here. You can't do that down here. You don't have any numbers. Why? How? But 180 is correct. But what's 3 angles of a triangle equal to? 180. Remember that. 3 angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. How do I know that? Because there is a polygon formula in your book. Polygon formula in your book, yeah. And it's 180 times n minus 2. Write that down. 180 times n minus 2, where n is the number of sides of the polygon. So let's do a triangle. What's 180 times 3 minus 2? So how many degrees are in a triangle? 180. So 3 angles of a triangle is equal to 180. So blank plus blank plus blank is equal to 180. We don't know that one, but we do know what? 60 plus 50 is what? And somebody take 110 from 180, what do you get? So this angle is 70 degrees. And that's how you do the puzzles. Now I've showed y'all today 80% of your Chapter 9 test. Well, Chapter 8 and 9, so they give you 20 questions on the test. 10's going to come from Chapter 8, and 10's going to come from Chapter 9. So the 10 from Chapter 9, 80% of Chapter 9 material will be complementary, supplementary, and these. So make sure you at least do the complementary, supplementary, and those. And you'll see them in the homework. And we're going to go over more come, what day y'all come? Monday? Monday we'll go over more problems out of Chapter 9. Comprende? All right, y'all have a good weekend. Okay, we'll just quit then.